of you who are here. I'm looking at, again, remember, we're trying to solve an issue for friction getting people onboarded into Discord with servers and creating stuff. So I'm looking at two platforms. Those who are listening to the recording at home, send me a message. Okay, two platforms. We're going to have the same functionality, right? Where there's a quote unquote stage for presentations. However, in one of them, it lists the event and a link. But what is happening is you're going to click on that link and it's going to take you out of the platform to the YouTube Live. And then you'll just watch YouTube Live and that's where it exists. So essentially when we have to use like a presentation or a web conferencing, we have to use Zoom. So we don't have like on the fly like we can in Discord. That's an advantage with Discord. But the other platform I think does. How important is that to you who are here? I'm a little bit leaning towards I would rather have it all in the platform. I would rather not have to. I like YouTube as a backup, but I would rather not have to have third-party vendor leave, come back, links. That's part of what was clunky and led us to Discord in the first place. Give me your thoughts. Do you prefer just being all in one place where the chat, the meetups, the presentations are all in one place? Does it matter too much where you're like, I don't really care? All in one place? It's kind of where I'm leaning, but I definitely want to hear. It does seem easier, right? Where it's not like, I'm going here for this and then here for that, back. Like it wouldn't be outrageously bad, but it would be, for me, enough. And we have a backup. I like YouTube as a backup. I didn't get a recording the other day. I just grabbed it from YouTube and I'm like, great, I have it. Right? It's my fail safe. It's a backup for me. If I don't record, it's a backup for you if you can't get on. So, okay. That's helpful, you guys. I prefer keeping it in the ecosystem. Wilbur says, I'm fine with this setup. What we're trying to do is replicate. Unfortunately, Discord being geared towards more of a millennial/Gen Z audience is making too cumbersome for us as we bring on. It's not scalable. There's too many people who are having a hard time getting set up, getting in, getting audio to work. Oh, you got to go out and back in, and it's like, we all know that we have the tricks, but it's like that's not scalable for us to build that, right? That's where we are, just to kind of give you guys a sense. So I'm going to take all the best parts of what we have, make sure we replicate it, and then make sure that it's a system where it's just like you pop in, you create a username and password, and bam, you're in, you have everything. There's no servers, there's no, right? So if, I wouldn't do it because I know that I'm going to create friction here, but I'd rather do it now where we rip the Band-Aid off and just say, hey, you know what? It was great. It helped us understand what we could do. But we've seen some of the friction ourselves that Discord has. That if you're 21 or 18 or 14, you can figure out and get done quickly. But, anyways. All right, let's get into it. Working sessions, intermediate, advanced. I heard Glenn on talking about the trading plan, talking about the sections. Section 1 is one that I have to fight for sometimes because people are like, do I really need this? Yes, you do. You need motivation. You need to create accountability measures for yourself, to create a structure where you say, these are the expectations. The way that I look at it, it's funny because I joke about the professor and the chimp, but I used to, way back when, I used to talk about, and we will definitely have a dry run. So I'll get it set up to where it's like, hey, look, this is mostly, and then we can all go in and be like, oh yeah, okay, this will work. And then we'll migrate everybody over, and yeah, it'll be a whole thing. Most definitely. So, yeah. Disclaimers. Let's just get through. I'm not getting through my own stuff here. Let's get into the platform. PLTR. Yep. I mean, if you start, anyone's pulled a little out of this thing, I would imagine you've taken some out. As it surpassed the target, and maybe letting the rest just kind of see. It looks like it's on the last leg. Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful bullish move. This is the kind of move that we only need one. And if we have 10 trades and there's one like this, gosh, it makes everything else so much easier, right? When you got that big one to help pull everything with it, of course. Of course. But that's what we're in. I want to find where we think we are now. So it's an interesting place. I feel like I covered Trading Plan on Tuesday and Glenn covered Trading Plan today. So I feel like I have good license to dive in just to the watch list and let's find some trades. Apple, obviously, I'm fine with it. Look at the line I have. That's why the line's helpful. Okay, it paused a little bit. It does that sometimes, right? And then great. I'm fine with that. Back here, you can see it went up, pulled. Imagine if you got shook on this right back here, and then you missed that move right after. Oh, man. Oh, that's a lot. Can't let that happen. Everything looks fine there. So here's where we say, okay, what's tradable? A lot of financials are reporting earnings soon. Aflac is not one of them. Aflac, as an insurer, just made a higher high. Now it's pulling back. Maybe higher low. Stochastics is getting to an oversold, starting to pinch. Volatility is a little high relative to historical, but overall still only at 30%. So I would feel pretty comfortable, but yeah, I would look at this and think this is tradable soon. It's in a dip, and we're bullish. So what do? We find a bull market, buy the dip. Yesterday, Amazon looked good. Today, a little bit of follow through. Heiken Ashi now gave you the Heiken Ashi. What does that mean to me? It means if I could enter it tomorrow, better than 186.82, so it'd have to be, down a little bit. Then it still has some viability. I think it's got a great chance to make a run up here to this new high, back at 200, 201, 17 points. I could probably risk 5 to get 17. I'm thinking about it. I think it's possible for still an entry. We've liked consumer discretionary. So I've got a financial, a consumer discretionary, AXP. You may still be in this. You may not. It's just kind of grinding along. Bank of America. Same thing, getting close to earnings. Be careful. BK. So BK signaled after, but it's definitely, it looks pretty good. Stronger than the KKR trade. We'll look at that here in a minute. So we'll see if anyone has changed their position. Scale, close, tighten on KKR. BLDR is kind of grinding sideways. Again, some people I know have told me they're still in it. And it's just kind of holding this support level. Carrier, just kind of grinding along. Caterpillar, grinding along. I mean, it's not the industrials are not really pulling back. I find them interesting. CMG was one that we liked. Still looks like it's viable. Costco. Ooh, Costco. Costco started to move, and then we got a tweezer hold candlestick pattern. A tweezer hold. Here is the Dow. Yeah, I mean, as you look at this, it looks fine. I have a concern. Here's a question. Does anyone have a concern? If you do have a concern, tell me what it is. I want to see if our concerns are similar. Anyone? No concerns at all. Not just on the DIA, in trading on the market in general. Stochastic, maybe. Here's Fastenal about to report earnings tomorrow before the market opens. Mine is the VIX. Oh, look at Bitcoin fail. Mine is the VIX. GE trying to move but stalling. GEV, same thing. Gold, maybe gold looks viable here. One more day. Google looks close. I like Google. Add that. I think we have a financial. I think we have a consumer discretionary. Gold, material. Google. Home Depot, not yet, but maybe soon. KKR yesterday looked fantastic, and then today it's like, I mean, it's still kind of moving. Overall higher, but just slow and not doing that much. Yeah. Coke. I'm taking Coke off the list as consumer discretionaries continue to underperform. Why not low instead of Home Depot? I mean, there was never like I chose one over the other. So I don't have a why not reason. I only have a why I chose Home Depot, and that was its strength. So could we... I mean, honestly, they look almost identical as expected. Home Depot, 3.4 million shares per day. Lowe's is only 2 million. So in that regard, I would say that Home Depot has an edge and likely has slightly better options. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but that would just be my initial assumption. But no, there's no like, I choose Home Depot and Lowe's is not as good. They both look quite identical to me. Okay. Let's see. What else? Where were we? Home Depot. KKR. No, we looked at that. McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's looks like its potential. It's somewhat more staples than not. There's a bit of growth to it. I think that looks viable. That looks pretty strong. Give me your thoughts about McDonald's. Anybody watching, interested, thinking in McDonald's? What do we think about it? Yeah, I think it looks quite bullish. Sideways. I mean, we've gone from 250 to 305. That's 55 points. So we're up 20% from July, 20% in 3 months, and it's on a nice trajectory. So my thought is things in motion tend to stay in motion. Stochastics pinch starting to turn. From 927. Well, remember that 927, we actually just got to a higher high. So this channel is actually representative of the sellers. So during this period of time, look at your stochastics. This is the sellers have the floor. What did they do with it? Just not much. So, yeah. Maybe a discretionary. Some like it, some not as much. Meta. I like Meta, just not yet. It's pulling back. I like MM. M. All the M's. But not yet. Actually, I'm not. Actually, we have this little turn and it just sort of went sideways. No, I don't like MMM. The group it's like, it's trying to sneak through even though its group is weak. I don't like it. MS, strong, no pullback. Earnings are soon. Nothing we can do with that. Microsoft is kind of trying to bounce. We'll see if it can get going. NDAQ, some people liked it, maybe took it. It's hiccuping. It's not wrong. Netflix is moving a little bit. NRG, okay, so if you liked some of these utilities stocks, this certainly is fitting the bill. A new high, it pulled back, higher low. That's viable. Put it on the list. NVIDIA still going. You probably traded either NVIDIA or TSM. They both look good still. NVIDIA a little stronger today. PEG also looks good. So right now, in addition to, we have a financial, we have a consumer discretionary, we have a communication services. Now what? Now we're adding a utility to the mix. So, if this is like, oh, the sellers are, things are stalling, but they're not selling. We're bullish. I don't see much counter evidence against the bulls. Tell me if you think I'm missing something for sure, though. I'm open to it. PGR. It's already kind of started to move. It's got earnings, so I would say Aflac or nothing. PLTR still going. QQQ could still be going. Southern looks like it's a setup, but I think for me so far, PEG and PGR are stronger. That looks fine, though. I mean, actually, no. I take that back. PEG and not PGR. What was the other utility? NRG. Sorry, that's what I meant. NRG, PGR, Southern. Those are utilities. Those are all looking potentially for setups. SPY is just kind of flat today. Just kind of flat. Let's go look at the futures. We're getting closer to my concern, though. The futures are flat as well. Tesla's setting up, but it's got earnings soon. I don't know if I'd trade into that. TSM stalling, maybe some profit taking. UUP. And I'll take flat over a drop as well. Right? Flat over a drop as well. Here's the VIX. What's our concern? It elevated. We blew right through that high from mid-September where we had a little hiccup. And we got all the way back up to the late August, early September highs. And right now we have like Is it going to just be like it's pulling back and then turns? Now, I want you to notice we pulled back for 2 days, went up for one, and then boom. And that was a great entry. So if we have where like it pops up a little bit and then just sort of rolls over again, that's going to confirm any of these trades I'm looking at now. I'm going to put some on. But remember that we're still a 5.25. We should still be willing to put trades in place. We like this market. We're looking for opportunities to trade. We have these opportunities to trade. So I would imagine, depending on what happens tomorrow, that some of these things start to turn. Now, here's the thing. If the market starts to turn more bullish, then the VIX is probably just going to keep dropping, and we're just going to watch it keep dropping. And I'll be thinking, let's get bullish trades on. But if the VIX starts to turn up, that means that the market's selling off. If the market's selling off, we're not getting buy signals. We're not getting buy signals on selling off days, but we would get a hedge signal. And I will look at, this is about the last ditch place for us to hedge by buying puts below 20, where we just still look at that. So, yeah, I think something's going to happen tomorrow. Give me your thoughts. What are you looking for? More bullish? More bearish? Not sure? All right. Let's go a little bit further. I don't see any setups now, so I'm not going to build a trade now. Let's keep going. VST. Another one for utilities. I do think that I would want to be thinking a utility trade and another bullish trade, and then that way, if all of a sudden bullishness dropped and utilities kicked in as a defensive representation, we would have it in place. It does feel a little funky right now. Like we just need to get through October, get to the other side, and yeah, I think we'll see, better prospects. VST. Walmart. That looks sideways, right? That's where I'm like, well, these consumer staples, I'm not feeling it. It's way up there. It's looking sideways. Yeah, I'm not real interested in something like that. Let's keep going. Okay, what else? What else? Communications. Okay, so let's look through these. Communication services. I don't think you can argue with the strength here. They are a leading group. They are a growth group. New highs, very small consolidation. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm seeing strength there. I'm seeing strength in materials. Energy, I think energy is faltering. It's wavering a little bit here. We have a little bit of a little gap up, pause, gap down. Now it's dropping. I'm calling out an island, a little exhaustion gap in here. Maybe we'll see. Financials is working on an ascending triangle. Touch the high, drop down. Touch the high, drop but not as low. Touch the high. It could still pull back a little bit, but we're looking for it to break. If it breaks out of 46, definitely going to look for some strength on that position. And I think we have some good representations in financials right now. Same thing with communication services. Google's a great one ready for us to go. XLI. The industrials are they're just kind of grinding sideways. We had a big move, a little bit sideways here. I'm not seeing as much for potential entries, but we'll keep an eye on it. Technology, same thing. It's already kind of moved. We've got PLTR or NVIDIA or TSM or some of all of that, right? I would think. Staples. And their staples are getting more iffy. That means maybe we start to see enough for our sector rotation score to get more positive. We'll see. Utilities looks like it's a bigger pullback than we've seen, but we saw that same kind of a thing back in July, late July. For me, that's my line right there. You can see it's above the 50 at this high, this low. It could come a little lower still, and that would be absolutely in the realm of a bullish move. Healthcare, a little underwater. Consumer discretionary looks pretty strong. Okay, give me your thoughts. Yes, no. That's the watch list. Do you think you're going to trade into something, or you won't know until tomorrow? Because as of right now, I don't see any signals that fired. I see only things that are like, if we see this, then we'll have something. Right? If. Yeah. Tomorrow. I agree. Okay. Trading plans. How's the progress? Plan to manage existing trades, hedge if need be. That's a beautiful assessment. I second that. Strategy. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, right. It feels like we're close, but there may be just a little more concern to shake off this October concern. Last time when we shook it off, it really opened things up. We were strong in November, December, January, February, March. I mean, it was pretty good. Then, yeah, if things go our way, definitely have the ability to pop in. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, very nice. So Glenn was going through that section 1. You guys basically have like full insights into my plan. Section 1, I really give kind of a good exposure. What are your thoughts? What are your concerns? Do you feel like at this point, now that you've looked at it a few times, you have what you need to get? I want you thinking about a minimum of a 7. We're not greedy. 7 out of 10. I'm not like, hey, write your plan and get a 10 out of 10 on your first try. Not even an 8. 7. You're writing it up. You're thinking about it. You're creating some accountability, some motivation, an understanding of your trader self. Yeah. Give me your thoughts. How is section 1 coming along? I see Lee typing. Done. Okay. All right. Remember that what we start now, we're going to finish right around December 15th or so. Oh, and yeah, that's it. I don't know if I said. So this round that we're doing now, when we get to the end of that, I'm going to take 2 weeks vacation. I'm out of here. Glenn and Gary will keep the fires going. I'm gonna go with my family on a vacation for 2 weeks. I can't believe that's like 2 months from now. That seems so close. Done with taxes. That's so funny, Miguel. I sent a text. My kids both, I claim them as dependents still. I get good education credits from them. But they both worked as like DoorDash drivers. So I have to like file Schedule C's for them this year. I'm like, oh gosh, at least give me some. It's a nightmare. Those little bastards. What else? Yeah, I mean, this is the section that sometimes working on the section is fine. Looking it over to make sure that's what I want. And you know what? I think I'm going to add to that. Looking it over to make sure it's what I want for now. For now. Like, is that good enough for now? Because if you put it down, when you get to that for now point and you put it down, and then let's just say you decide at the beginning of the year, you're going to come in and just be like, yeah, I'm going to go look at my trading plan and take a pass at it. You'll probably be like ready for whatever the next evolution is going to be at that point. That's kind of how it works. As you get to a point, you're like, that's it. Let's put it into place. Let's trade it. Let's watch it. And then let's observe and see if that is representative. I like that. I think that's the way we do the market posture. Is we're like, we put it on. Does this fit? Does this look right? Does it feel nice? Should we try something else? Sometimes it's just a matter of trial and error. That's a great perspective on the process. Anybody else? I don't want to, we don't really have, we don't have much. I am thinking hopefully that we see a trade tomorrow. So we'll see if that comes. Looks like we lost David tonight, but it gets a little late. So we'll wrap it up a little early, give you a little time back. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm hoping that maybe by mid to end of next week, I'll have like, hey, let's get a separate meet set up, get some people some access, and start looking. Because if we're going to do this new platform, let's, like I said, tear the Band-Aid off, get going. Yes, I would love to. Miguel, I would love to. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Tomorrow morning, as Glenn said, he'll be here 9:15, 15 before the market opens. Let's look at those PPI numbers. See if they come in a little better than the slight negative surprise on CPI. I mean, come on, 0.1%. That's not a big deal. And then I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon to wrap things up. Have a great rest of your night. As always, happy trading.